And remember, you can always follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and
media assets.
That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at EasterSeals.com. 1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at EasterSeals.com.
Fuck it now.
Really? I mean, is that going to be a thing now?
You like it? Thanks, catchy.
What are you looking at? Go.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Welcome back in, everybody, to another Sports Daily. Jacob Albrocht here with Brady Bowman again today. Glad to be with you on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday on the show. Brady, is that a puka shell necklace? Is that the best we could do today?
That's the best I could do today. Honestly, I was at the store yesterday getting some other stuff, and I just completely, like always, like every time I go to the store anymore, there's something that I forgot to get, and looking at Hawaiian shirts was one of them. So last night I was thinking, like, well, what do I have? And I know I have this kind of like bright shirt, and I stumbled upon an old puka necklace from my college days.
Yeah.
One of them. So I thought, why not?
I appreciate the puka shell.
It's a little tight.
I had a few of those. Myself. Yeah. But it's interesting that you go to the store specifically to get a Hawaiian shirt and you forget the Hawaiian shirt.
No, there was other things I had to get. Like
none of them were more important than grabbing that Hawaiian shirt, though. That's what
in
I'm
hindsight,
saying.
yes, right. In hindsight, yeah, swing and a miss.
But just a general life lesson: when you're at any store, you should always be on the lookout for a good Hawaiian. If you find
that is
one.
true.
Like you're just going to walk past a good looking, floral design there and not give it a second thought there. But it is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. We're glad to be with you on this Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday of Sports Daily. It will be a fun show. Unless you're a Royals fan, maybe then not so fun. Another blown save, and we've got some things to discuss as it pertains to their bullpen and just really how impactful the back end has been this year. So we'll get into that as they fall last night to the Reds. Even though they went into the ninth inning with a lead, their closer, borderline unusable right now. We'll get into that. We've got the details on KU's Super Regional in Lawrence that we'll make sure to lay out for you as well. Our KU Insider Shreyas Laddha is going to join us a little bit later in the show as well. So we'll have that for you. We've got some things to get through. We can continue to discuss what's going on in the NFL. Some more time, perhaps, to digest a little bit what has transpired in this early portion of free agency, some other contract things coming, a big wide receiver contract again that I think we can look at and try to evaluate a little bit on what that means for the Chiefs. And then, of course, we've got the NBA Finals today. It's all what's on tap. Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Now featuring the cheeseburger roll. Beef, melty American cheese, crunchy pickle, onion, burger seasoning, all served in a doughy pizza roll with tangy burger sauce for dipping. Cheeseburger roll at WBC, your favorite new summertime appetizer. We've got our Prairie Fire Coffee rocking and rolling all across the Odyssey studios. Appreciate their support as well. We're ready to roll here. Max Power on the other side, producing things for us. He's got your hotline at 869-1240. That's if you're listening to us on KFH 97.5 or 1240 AM. We've got you on our video streams where you can always comment. Facebook, YouTube, X, Those are available to you as well. You can also catch us on 12 News Connected on the Odyssey app. If you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, you can also leave us a voice message right there on the app. We can get those and those out over the air. To welcome in everybody. Glad to have you with us. Were you in on what did we have last night? Stanley Cup final? Max? Stanley Cup finals here.
We know Max
we got Vegas in a shootout, a thriller in the opener, 5-4. My goodness, I was not watching that. I was watching baseball, but it looks like that was an entertaining opening game, to say the least. Were you just in on baseball? What did your Tuesday night on the sports calendar look like?
You talking to me or Max?
I'm talking to you now, Brady.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe you watch baseball. 25 seconds in, there was a goal. I blinked and I missed it.
Which often does that happen in hockey?
Very rare.
Yeah.
It was only like the third time.
If you're telling me we're going to get 9 goals a game, I might be in, Max. I'll tell you that.
It's the hardest trophy to win.
The hardest trophy to win.
Ooh.
Now, that's an interesting statement.
That is.
It doesn't have
that's not a statement. That's a fact.
Any real answer. I will tell you this.
Get on skates and let me skate. And
there is
zero
chance that the Stanley Cup is harder to win than an NCAA basketball tournament.
The hardest trophy. Yeah. Yeah. Look, go watch that game and tell me how many people get hit into the boards like that. Come on.
Well, we're talking about different sports now.
Hardest trophy to win. No question.
Hang on. Like I would tell you like a triathlon then. If we're just going to pick random things out of the air that make it hard.
That's not a sport. That's just somebody running, swimming, and biking. Get out of my way. I'll hit you with
skating
my
on
car.
ice with the stick is a sport.
I can tell you've never put on a pair of skates.
You're correct. I have not. But I'm also
You've never ice skated ever, Jacob?
I have. It's story time. So
here we go.
Listen, I grew up in the country. There was nowhere to like practice. So you went from like 0 to the roller skating rink. Now that created some challenges growing up. Like we didn't have anything paved, right? There's no way to skate. So I hated the birthday parties growing up at the roller skating rink, which have made a comeback, by the way. The roller skating rink. There's one here in town.
True.
My kids love it.
Big one here in Woodfield.
So I was never able to do that anyway. And then you go out there and you'd have to like try to learn on the fly. Never could get it. You know, same issue with a lot of things. I don't ride a bike real well because we had like 4-wheelers and stuff. And like I got a go-kart when I was a kid because we were out in the country. So anyway, we go in and it tries to translate to ice skating. And my wife was like, well, let's just go ice skating. And I'm like, that's not going to go well for me. Like, I'm not going to be able to do that. And she's like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, I don't think I'm going to be fine. Like I've lived my entire life knowing that I can't roller skate. I don't think all of a sudden I'm just going to pick up ice skating. And I was like, and the other problem is I'm going to biff it. I know I'm going to biff it. And now I'm public facing and that's never good either. And sure enough, we go, I don't even make a lap in and I just totally wipe out. And like, I look up and there's somebody with a phone taking a video of me. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like we're done with this. I knew exactly what was going to happen here. And this wasn't even that long ago either.
I was going to say your wife can skate, sounds like.
Yeah, she's fine. She can do it.
Now think of this. You got to skate. You've got to now have a stick, control the puck, keep your head up so somebody doesn't take you out, and then learn to shoot the puck hard, accurately at a goaltender.
I understand the difficulty of hockey, Max, but your statement made
it's the hardest
impression that of all the sports that are played, the Stanley Cup is the most difficult to win, and I don't think that's true at all.
Okay, they play every other night.
You can just say hockey's the hardest sport to play.
The hardest trophy to win.
That's not an accurate way to say that. You can say hockey is the hardest sport, and I'll say fine. But you can't tell me the tournament format of the Stanley Cup is the most difficult way we determine a champion in American sports. It's not.
They play every other night.
So they do in the NCAA.
I don't think you're convincing Max, Jacob.
Single elimination 6 times in a row.
Play every other night.
Yes, they do, and then they move on to the next round. They literally play Thursday and Saturday or Friday and Sunday.
They literally play. They'll play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Max, what's the hardest trophy to win?
Get out.
No doubt about it. Look it up. Ask anybody.
Look it up. Yeah, look it up.
Let's call Travis.
Google it.
All right, we'll come right back. Either way, the Stanley Cup is underway. We're coming back on Sports Daily.
Fire right away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Glad to be with you on the program today. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for a healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care. We come back in. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman here. Brady and Paul Savage in tomorrow. And then Brady, you're in again Friday. And then next week we are, I think, getting TJ back in. So we're kind of making our way through the summer here. One thing that makes it more difficult in the summer is bad baseball, which we'll get into. Brady, you sent me this. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, just water cooler around the office. The SEC and the Big Ten withhold support for the new college sports bill. We'll dig into that a little bit later in the show because I was going to try to hold. Kevin Saul was not able to make it again. He's tied up with the Women's College World Series. He's on that committee. So he'll be with us soon, but we'll talk about it in the next little bit here. Do want to let everybody know on the Super Regional in Lawrence, if you missed it yesterday, KU will play Saturday and Sunday for sure. Both games are at 5 o'clock. We don't know yet when Game 3 would potentially be scheduled because you got to kind of see what happens the rest of the tournament. But for KU fans, we've been talking a lot about that Super Regional, and we'll do that more in the next hour with Shreyas Laddha. We will have KU playing Saturday and Sunday, both 5 o'clock first pitches. Let's talk Major League Baseball, Brady, and the Kansas City Royals. You can go as far back as yesterday to hear me say, I don't know if it's time to take the job from Ursig yet, but if he blows another save in the next 3 or 4 appearances, it probably is. Well, it didn't take long because now that's 3 straight blown saves for Ursig. The Royals lose another game they should have won. That is 6 blown saves just for Lucas Ursig. And Brady, again, this number, right now the Royals are 23-38. If Ursig were to convert all of those saves, and I know that maybe that's too much to ask, but just for the sake of this conversation, they're 29-32. I mean, we're having a totally different reaction to this season probably if they don't continue to blow these saves. Matt Strahm, by the way, who would probably have been another option, just came back recently off injury, came into the game, gave up a home run. So, and it's not just that Ursig's been bad. He's been really bad. He walked 2 guys. He had a hit. So, look, I said yesterday, I'm not going to fault Q for running him back out there. He had a day off in between. What I am going to get annoyed at, though, is like, why was he out there without a backup plan? And I understand closing is psychological, and you don't want that guy to know somebody's warming up in the bullpen. But my goodness, like, he clearly didn't have it again. They should have pulled him immediately. The second they could have pulled him. We're all watching it and like, you ain't got it today. And they got, I don't think he's going to be the closer moving forward. I highly doubt that the next time there is a save opportunity is the closer for the Royals.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually looking at this last night to see who's leading the majors right now in blown saves, and it is Ursig. He has 6.
It can't even be close.
After that, it's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 guys with 4. Then it drops to 3. So Ursik is leading that category, a stat you do not want to lead pretty easily. And going back to what you said just a little bit ago, I mean, yeah, is it ideally, yeah, you'd like them to hold on to all 6 of those saves, but let's just say even just 4 of the 6, right? Even if he just holds on to 4 of the 6, we're still having a different conversation about the Royals right now, and definitely some more hope and feelings about it. You know, looking back at that game last night, Jacob, I was the first head scratcher for me was pulling Noah Cameron when they did. I thought maybe just keep him out there, keep him going at this point. And I know you want to save arms.
Where was he at on pitches?
I'm sure it was probably high, but at this point,
yeah, he probably could have given you one more, I think.
Right.
But also he
was dealing.
He's not been dealing holistically lately. I don't.
He did last night outside
he did
that
last
one
night.
home
He
run.
looked really good last night, which was great. That's what another reason that's so for the Royals. And now he's had 3 pretty good starts in a row here. So maybe you let him go there. I don't disagree with that, by the way. I'm with you. He could have gone another, but they still would have given the ball to Ursik in the 9th.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, and it's just like he's broken. I mean, this becomes a mental thing now.
He's totally broken.
Yeah.
They gotta have him somewhere, though.
Sure.
So, like, you can't run him back out there the next time as the closer. And I text our guy Jalen Thompson, who will be with us later this week, like, what is the next option here? And he doesn't know yet. And I'm sure that's going to be a question, no days off, that they've got to answer. I would wonder if it's Daniel Lynch. I wonder if it's John Schreiber, just because of some maybe experience and high leverage. But Schreiber hasn't been nails this year. I would just go ahead and try Daniel Lynch. Like, if you're not going to make Daniel Lynch a starter, just make him a closer, because he's been so good back there.
And especially at this point,
but you already don't have Estevez. Right now, Ursig is kind of unusable in that spot. Ursig's not hurt, but you can't use him there.
He's mentally hurt. Yeah,
he's mentally hurt. Yeah. So he's got to have time to figure it out, in some 6th innings somewhere. So they can't do that, but they're running out of bodies here. And that's the thing that makes their task in front of them so daunting is they're running out of bodies here. They could win the next 15 games in a row, Brady, and just be at 500. So it makes those prospects far harder to achieve when you think about those kinds of things. And that is just like I say it all the time, that a bad bullpen is about the most frustrating thing in sports, because you work so hard to get these leads and you have this, and then it can all fall apart so quickly. But man, that's
what's so frustrating.
They should have won. What is it? 3 out of the last 4, 3 out of the last 5, right? They would have won if they not blown saves. I think that's right. And that's like, as you're trying to crawl and claw back into it, I mean, that's as excruciating as it gets.
I mean, there's nothing worse in baseball than going into the All-Star break or getting close to the All-Star break and feeling like the season's already over. That's a terrible, terrible feeling and state of things. And well, last night, especially going through the highlights inning by inning, again, it was a really entertaining game, actually. Like, if you don't have a rooting interest in either team and you're just watching a baseball game, it was a really good game and a lot of great performances, including by the Royals. Again, we talked about Cameron. He just came out, just lights out. That little that out at first he had. Did you see that one? That ground ball, and he just flipped it up with his glove to the first baseman.
Yeah,
that was a great play. We had some great at-bats. Cags had some great at-bats. And then we just, like so often this season, a lot of good things. You're watching, you're seeing the potential of this team and where the bright spots are. The bright spots are bright. But then when it came to closing time, when it came to clutch time, we couldn't get it done. And even with Ursik allowing that home run to tie it, top of the 10th, we couldn't get
right. Yeah.
Right. At top of the 10th, we couldn't get anything going. So it's kind of like, when things kind of start falling apart, this team just seems to kind of crumble, and that can happen. I mean, this is a desperate team right now, and when you're desperate like that, and you get some things going finally, and then things crumble at the end, boy, it's just tough mentally for the whole team.
Here's what Cotraro said about your point. Why not just leave Cameron out there? He said it's the first time he's gone 7 this year. He was in control, but we thought that was the right time to get him out with the guys we had available. Remember, they basically had everybody available on the in the way it was lined up. Everything goes through your mind in that situation. Steer was coming up again in that next inning. He'd not gone up for an 8th inning yet this year, or a 7th for that matter. So all those things factor in. And again, the guys we have available, which included Ursig because they didn't pitch the night before.
Is Q overthinking everything? I mean, the Royals need to win. That's what you focus on, winning, and not like, taking 5 games ahead and all these sort of things, and all these other bodies and pitch counts, whatever. But he was dealing, and the offense was responding to it too. And then you just pull him out. I would have kept him in. I would have tried to get the win. It's desperate times. You need to get some good momentum going. And when the momentum's going, let it go.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, except it's all very frustrating. When they were really bad, 3-4 years ago, they were really bad because they weren't that talented, right? That is not the case with this team. And that, I think, is the most frustrating part. This team has no business being 15 games under 500. And things like this keep happening to them. Again, I'm not like to me, the fault last night was to not have somebody out there. Like we've all watched what Ursig has done his last 3 appearances, and it's been just absolutely fall apart right from the get-go. To not have somebody else, it almost feels like he's more concerned about protecting Ursig's feelings than winning that baseball game.
How's he feeling now?
Winning that baseball game means, all right, Ursig, you're in. Guess what? Lynch is out there. The second you struggle, he's in, you're out. We cannot keep doing this.
It's the majors. So that's how you always play.
Look, it's the same thing with Vinny and Salvi early in the year, continuing to hit in the middle of the lineup. Why on earth are those guys continuing at the time to hit in the middle of the lineup every day? They were struggling through it. Move guys around when they're struggling.
Just like Cags with left-handed hitters. It's just kind of that sort of, it's like when you just read Q's statement a little bit ago, that's immediately what I thought of. Just kind of that sort of over analytic sort of thinking about things almost to a detrimental way.
What we're watching.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here we go again. You had a chance there to win that series, to go for a sweep, to do something special, like all of these things. And instead, we're talking about, are they going to be able to win this series? Are you psychologically going to be okay after a blown save? They got a great opportunity to win this game today. You got to just, as the late, great Roger Cornish, former colleague, used to say, one of my favorite phrases, got to let it be a fart in the wind. You just got to let it go. But, you're 15 games under 500. Letting it go is hard. It is desperation time. Desperation time in June is exhausting. To have to play with that level of energy every day now for what's going to be another 3 months, that's too much to ask. They're going to have to just, win them. But it's getting harder and harder, and man, look, the biggest part of this conversation probably should be, okay, I think we all understand now. I can't use Ursig there. Quatraro better understand it.
I don't know how you can't understand it at this point.
Who you gonna use? And that becomes this really difficult part to think about.
Jacob, here's the other thing. Looking at the a stat that I don't think we've talked about too much, but I've been kind of looking at this and compared to other teams, and now the Royals have truly separated themselves in this stat. But the road record, the Royals right now are 8-21 on the road. No other team in the majors is below 10.
Well,
the next worst record is, let's see, it is 10-24, which is Detroit on the road.
How many of those Ursig blown saves here?
We're on the road?
We're on the road.
Ooh, I don't. I have to look at that.
I think the
That's a
last
good
3
question.
have all been on the road. I'm going to check his game.
Saturday against or was that Friday? Was that Friday or Saturday against
At
the Rangers?
Texas, at Cincinnati, and he blew one against the Yankees. That was at home.
That's
he didn't
right.
look good. He wasn't in a save situation in the game against Seattle at home, but that was the time when it started to fall off. So basically his last 4 appearances have been total throwaways. Totally like unusable nonsense appearances. And he had been good for a long time. That's where I will give Quatraro some grace. Like if you got to go back, he had one appearance where he wasn't very good. But he didn't have a blown save between April 20th and May 14th in what was 10 appearances. And then he blew one against the Cardinals. And then all of a sudden the wheels have fallen off.
I mean, especially against the Rangers.
He's blown 4 saves since May 15th. And then 3 in his last 3 appearances. In his last 4 appearances, he's seen his ERA climb from 3.26 to 6.45. He's in his last 4 appearances given up 9 runs, 2 home runs. He walked 2 guys last night. He did strike a couple of guys last night to try to get it to extra innings, but before that, he was not striking anybody out in those appearances. Like, he just doesn't look good.
No,
you got to stop throwing him out there.
I was listening after helping TJ with a bunch of Kansas State Track and Field championship coverage on Friday and Saturday. I think it was Friday it was Friday, and I'm listening to the broadcast out of Texas, and we're going in there, and it's like, oh, the broadcasters are all excited. Everybody's feeling positive because we're going into the 9th. We got a lead. All we got to do is just get out of it. And Ursic didn't even have an out. I don't know if he maybe had one strike he threw.
He didn't.
It was just hit. I mean, it was 5 hits in a row, I think, and they came back to win. It was a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the frame. That's what I think that's what I texted you and TJ. I was like, oh gosh,
yeah,
Ursic.
And then rinse,
man.
So he's not you can't use him. Okay, you can't use him in that spot. Again, they've got to have him in general because they don't have enough guys back there. But you can't use him in those spots anymore.
What does he do mentally?
He's got to reset. He's got to totally reset. The thing is, like, if something special were to happen and the Royals were going to climb back into this somehow, some miracle happens, which again, we point this out because it's June 3rd and there's still enough time for something like that. As much as that drives people crazy, it's true, right? They're still very much in it.
Yeah, the math is there.
Mathematically. So if that were to happen and they got late into the year, they're going to need Ursic to be a big part of it. I don't think they're going to go add pieces at the deadline this year or anything like that. Now, you want to talk about a miraculous comeback. If they got into a position where they were adding at the deadline, that means they're going to have one of the best Junes they've ever had. But if they were, by August or September able to get to that point, it's hard to envision a world where Ursic is not a key part of that bullpen. So he's got to just be able to get right now. Is he 100% healthy? That's the first question you got to ask. If it's all mental, okay, well then start putting him in mop-up duty for a little bit. Just let him pitch. Let him have a little wiggle room now. But then what do you do in these spots? I think Schreiber is probably back enough that you've got him. Strom is not all the way back. It's got to be Lynch. But now that means you're moving Lynch out of a role where he's been pretty important for them. But you got to start in the 9th inning. So the Royals have problems. They'll play again today against the Reds. That game, again, same thing. First pitch around 6 o'clock. You'll get pregame coverage right here on KFH at 5:30. We'll talk about this college sports thing in the next hour. When we come back, some more NFL news, I think, that's interesting as it pertains to the Chiefs, even though it doesn't directly involve them. We'll have that when we return. More Sports Daily. Albrecht and Bowman. Don't go away.
Lightning, Hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Our thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Get out to Crestview right now. Go check out all 36 holes. Both courses are in great shape. There is all kinds of activities to check out as well. If you've got a family, it's more than just the golf. You can check out the great pool, all the great camps. There are activities galore, swim, tennis, of course, the golf. It's all out there for you. Give them a call. Tell them we sent you. Check it out and find out why our family's been happy out there for a number of years at Crestview Country Club. We come back in, Brady. We'll hit this college sports. I mean, this was predictive, right? SEC, Big Ten,
totally
not supporting, but we'll get into that. The Protect College Sports Act. But we'll do that in the next hour. We've also got Shreyas Laddha coming up in the next hour. I want to talk more about what we're seeing in the NFL. Did you see Drake London's contract yesterday?
I saw the headline on it. Yeah.
4
That's
years,
a lot of money.
4 years, $100 million guaranteed. 4 years, $141 million. Makes him the third highest paid receiver in the NFL on a per year basis. Largest average annual salary in Falcons history. We're looking right now at the money to receivers. Drake London didn't even have 1,000 yards or 70 catches last year. And granted, he's been great other years. He had a knee injury that held him out of 5 games, but so he's really, really good. But these numbers are crazy. Jackson Smith and Jigba making 42 a year. Jamar Chase 40. Now London 35. Justin Jefferson 35. CeeDee Lamb 34. The price for receivers is ballooning to a point that's really interesting. I mean, you don't have to go that far back in the NFL to remember the days of, do you even need a great receiver, to get to the promised land? Do you have to have a great receiver? The Patriots did it all those years. They had the years with Randy Moss. They didn't win the championship. Yeah. The other years, you look at their top receivers, it was tight ends sometimes. Other than Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning, like there were, wide receiver wasn't the primo position. I remember the year Larry Fitzgerald made it, and the Cardinals didn't end up winning that Super Bowl, but it was like,
they should have though.
Is a star receiver finally going to win a Super Bowl? The league has changed, right? It's a very pass-happy league now, and these guys are wildly impactful. And the success correlates. Jackson and Smith and Jigba, of course, Super Bowl champion. The Chiefs had a lot of championships where Tyreek Hill was in the conversation for the top receiver in the game. We've seen the Rams in recent years. They've been loaded at receiver for a long time. So, Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in football the year they won the Super Bowl. So I think the times have changed. But I also still think there's some overpayment to receivers. Now, Drake London may be one of the true stars. That's fine. Alec Pierce is getting paid. He's not. And I just see the price tag on these guys go up and up and up. And to our conversation yesterday for the Chiefs, I don't see a world where Rashee Rice is with them after this year for whatever reason, right? All the scenarios that you can imagine, it's hard for me to imagine him being back next year. Either something bad has happened, he's hurt, whatever, or he's very good and is out there commanding a $30 million a year contract. And that just, to me, doesn't seem like that would be in the Chiefs' best interest to sign. So how do you approach then this offseason? I contend they should have traded him before he went to jail, but I get it. He's very talented, and they clearly like the guy. So, okay, but he's probably gone next year. They've drafted some guys, not with super high draft capital, but guys they would expect to be contributors. Xavier Worthy, certainly with the high draft capital. But I don't know that Xavier Worthy is ever going to be that guy, Brady. That was more like he's really fast and we can use him in a special way. Let's take him there. But he's not the kind of receiver, at least thus far, that Rashee Rice is. So what are they going to be looking at after this year if Rice is gone? That's where I think this all gets interesting as we look at free agency now. Is there anybody out there that could help them for 2 years? I'm not 100% sure they need the help this year. I don't know if they do. I think you know, there's some hedging on Rice himself coming off a knee injury who's, you know, spending some time in jail right now. So maybe there's a hedge there. But I'm looking at next year and these guys that are out there. And is there any world where the market is cool on them and you could turn it into some kind of a 2-year deal? Would any of them take that? Tyreek Hill probably would, but you're looking at a much older player at that point. Same with Steph Diggs. But some of the, you know, Debo's, I think, 29 years old.
Yeah, that's where I lean.
Oh, could we get you on a 2-year deal? Let's make it a team option. Let's make it $5 million this year, and let's call it $15 million next year. And if you're great and we need you real bad and we can get you at $15 million, we'll exercise that option. You've got a prove it year built in. I don't know. I think I just there might be some things that can help them, because what's the alternative then? Pretty much at that point, it's drafting a wide receiver or bust, because they're not going to be able to afford one. I don't think in their current financials, they're not affording a big ticket wide receiver in free agency. I don't think they've designed things that way. I don't think they want to. I think, you know, for this year, they're going to run the ball. Probably for next year, they're going to run the ball too. So is there a guy still out? And the reason it comes up is because the list of guys still out there we talked about. There's some really good wide receivers just sitting on the street right now.
Well, and at the idea, especially if the Chiefs are approaching this next season as a, you know, farewell and let's do this one for Travis Kelce, and who cares about the next season, right? Like it just get somebody for this year.
I don't honestly, like, do they need anybody for this year is debatable. I mean, we'd both like to see them add some depth there, I think, but I wouldn't say that they have to have one if you tell me that Rice is back week 1 and ready to roll. Yeah. Then I think they've got enough. I think you've got to just come up with a backup plan and a plan for next year. It's why I thought trading Rice would have been a good option, because then they could have a pre-draft, because then you look at the draft, you have this draft capital next year. If you need like an extra first, which I think they could have got a first for Rice, you need the extra first to go draft somebody. You've got some options there. They're kind of stuck with Rice now. And again, the point of this conversation, I think they've got Rice for 1 year, because I don't think he's going to be back. And I could be wrong about that, I suppose, but there's just enough stuff there where you're like, yeah, that's probably unlikely.
He can stay out of trouble. I mean, that's the thing with him.
But if he can stay out of trouble, that's what I mean. In a best case scenario, he stays out of trouble, he balls out. Are the Chiefs really going to pay Rashee Rice $35 million a year? Because that's how talented he is, right? When you're talking about production and talent, and he hasn't done it for as long, but he's not that far off of Drake London.
Well, I think that's what, yeah. I mean, it kind of goes back to full circle to the Drake London discussion, is that kind of resets the market a little bit. $35 million. Of course, Drake London, he's a big guy too. He's a big target.
He's good. And it puts him up there with the very top tier, which is where he belongs. And even if Rice is a tier under that, maybe Alec Pierce is the better example. Brady, Alec Pierce just signed a contract for an average annual value of $28.5 million.
Yeah, he was one of the top wide receivers to
That's
look
Alec
at
Pierce,
this offseason.
Ladies and gentlemen. Like, Rashee Rice has been more productive. So, you know, when he's been out there.
But so he kind of helped resurrect Daniel Jones.
Best case scenario, he's going to be too expensive, I would imagine, for the Chiefs to be able to bring back. They've got other things they need to do. They've got a line that they need to continue to invest in financially to make sure that their quarterback is upright. And that's where you look at. So Tyreek Hill's 32 years old right now. Could he help you this year and next year? Boy, that's a bit of a stretch, right? Could Steph Diggs? Probably as much of a stretch as Tyreek Hill. Could Debo at 30? I think he probably could. Curtis Samuel is another name that's out there that's not nearly as attractive, I don't think. If you go after those guys and you go into sort of a younger tier. Jahan Dotson was a guy who was drafted high and kind of has puttered, hadn't had a great career. Hunter Renfro's probably too old now. To me, it really comes down to Debo, maybe to Curtis Samuel, but that's a bit of a stretch. But it's Debo that I look at. And then I'd just be curious if you thought you could get that much out of Tyreek Hill and Steph Diggs. Steph Diggs and Tyreek Hill, though, historically have been guys that, have wanted some money and bounced around. I don't know that Steph Diggs has any interest at all in saying, hey, would you take a discount to come, play for Kansas City for a few years? Probably not. You got to be looking at that point at Tyreek Hill, and then you're saying, can Tyreek Hill play until he's 34 years old, 35 years old? I don't know. He's better than nothing. If they came out and gave Tyreek Hill a 2-year deal, I'm okay with that. Let's go to the phone lines, KFH hotline. Stuart there waiting. Hey, Stuart, welcome into Sports Daily. How are you?
Great. Hey, with all our Rice's baggage, why do you assume that another team is going to pay him $30 million? I wouldn't pay him $30 million with all his baggage and his knee problems. Why do we assume this?
Do you remember the contract Tyreek Hill signed with all his baggage in Miami?
Yeah, but that was Miami. Maybe that's not Kansas City. And why would another team pick him up?
Do you remember the Steph Diggs contract with all his baggage? George Pickens is going to get paid in a minute. He's got all kinds of baggage. So it's all a production game. Rice has had a knee injury, but he's also had a suspension. The league doesn't care about his suspension. And not when it comes to football on the field. If Rice comes out and produces like he has produced in the past and catches 8 to 9 balls a game and is as gifted as we've seen him be at times in his career, he's going to make north of $25 million a year somewhere.
I think so.
As a rookie, he caught 79 balls. Now he hasn't played. His availability has been an issue. But even if he just came out and replicated what he did his rookie year, which was catch 80 balls basically for 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns, I don't think that's a market the Chiefs are going to want to get into if that's what he did.
I would just be really worried about all his baggage.
Well, I'd worry about his baggage too. That's the other half of it. If you're the Chiefs, right? There's that piece too, right? There are 2 paths to the reason I don't think he's going to be around. One is the baggage. He can't stay out of trouble. He continues to have the baggage, and those things make it the reason. But the Chiefs have shown us before they're willing to overlook that stuff. I think, that, but it is something to monitor. He may play himself out of Kansas City, but the other one is that he has a good year and then he becomes too expensive. That's why I think, people may not want, and we appreciate the call, Stuart, right up against it. People may not want to think that far ahead, but that's the problem for me with Rice is I see 2 paths to him not being back in Kansas City after this year. Not just 1, 2. He's either in trouble or hurt and can't stay on the field, or if he does, he's too good and they can't afford him.
Too expensive, yeah.
Good problem to have this year, right?
Right.
But not next year. And that's where I think there's some names here that maybe it's just worth taking a look at for some depth. We'll come back. We got another hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away. It's Albrecht and Bowman on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
All right, welcome in, everybody. It's another hour of Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman here. Thanks for listening in on 97.5 FM, 1240 AM. Thanks for the calls, 869-1240. You can continue to bring those in. Stuart had good points on Rashee Rice there. Before the break, we'll get to some viewer comments on the video streams in just a minute as well. Facebook, YouTube, X, those always available. Thanks also for watching us on 12 News Connected. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. You can leave us voice messages there. Glad to have you with us, everybody. We will get into KU's trip to the Super Regionals. Our KU Insider Shreyas Laddha will be in to talk a little bit about that, but also about some of the early love in the Big 12. KU is starting to make some noise, I think, in some of the preseason polls. We'll get into that a little bit with Shreyas and some other things. It's all coming to you. What's on Tap? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Your summer spot, pizza and apps, the whole group will love. Seasonal beers, a full cocktail menu for the adults, and new dirty sodas and homemade root beer that keep the kids happy. WBCU this summer at Wichita Brewing Company. We actually have, Brady, let's do this. TJ's, locked in from a layover in Chicago and sent us the headline that I missed. So let's do it. Let's go headlines we missed, Max.
There we go.
And
All
Brady,
right,
give us
Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, get ready for this one, Jacob. And TJ told me that this one's probably going to get you riled up a little bit. Yahoo Sports reporting a college football national champion will not be crowned until January 25th. That's 52 days, Jacob. 52 days between conference championship weekend and the college football playoff title game. 52 days.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We're going to spend all this time trying to fix college sports. How many teams are in a playoff? They're playing the Super Bowl Sunday the 14th, so later than normal. But we're talking about the time of year we're like in Super Bowl mode.
Wait. The Super Bowl's going to be on Valentine's Day?
What are we doing?
Oh.
January 25th? 52 days in between. Do you know if we went back to like August or September, Brady, and you talk about how many football games get played in 52 days, what are we looking at there? How many games are played in 52 days in a college football season?
Like for one team?
Yeah.
Probably at least 5?
You're talking about potentially 7 games are played.
Yeah.
7 games over 52 days during the regular season. And we're going to play what? We're going to play at most, that'd be 4, 3 for some. It's absolutely absurd. I don't understand why they don't get it. That game should be played on January 1st, period. College football's national championship should be reserved for New Year's Day. That's the answer.
Didn't it used to be that way?
I don't know. They've got the.
It was like right around there.
The Rose Bowl parade. We can't mess up the Rose Bowl parade. The traditions.
Big Rose Bowl fan, huh, Jacob?
I'm not a fan of waiting 52 days to make it through a postseason when you're not playing that many games to get there. It's absolutely crazy. Now, if they're playing a game every week to get there, okay, fine. If that's how long it takes, but that's not what they do. They wait. They wait like 2 weeks before they start, then another week, and then they give it like another week and a half between the end. It's absurd. It's absurd. So there you go. While TJ's out, a headline I missed. God, that's annoying. That's so annoying.
25th. That's like what, a week or two away from conference play in college basketball?
Yeah.
I mean, the non-con is pretty much done by that point.
Yeah, you're in conference play by January 25th.
Yeah. That's nuts. That is nuts to think that the college football championship is going to be right when conference play starts to happen.
If we go to a 24-team playoff, I don't think it should take that long.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of thing, right? Like, that's what we've been talking about.
For this year, we're still on as far as I know, we're still on a 12-team playoff.
Who knows? There's a lot of time between now and then.
That's crazy.
And there's already the struggle with like players, maybe like typically players don't opt out for the national championship game, but still with the way the transfer portal is and just how up in the air everything is. Coaches leave. I mean, we had Kippen. Kippen he left his team and it was a college football playoff team.
I don't
What are we doing, Jacob?
Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to figure that out? That's too much time. People lose interest. We're on to other things. The players lose interest. What do you think the fans are going to do? Let's get to a couple of comments here. Jesse, a throwback to Max's take early. Kenny Powers giving us his take on triathlons is about what, man. I think that's pretty accurate. Max, to call back to the first hour, Max says that the Stanley Cup trophy is the hardest trophy to win in sports. Now I'm like, okay, well, I would contend that college basketball is. Max didn't mean that. Max meant that hockey is the hardest sport to play, which is probably the way that should have been presented. And then we said, well, what about triathletes? And,
no, it's the hardest trophy to win.
But that's not what you're just saying. Hockey is the hardest sport to play. You're saying it's the hardest trophy to win because it's hard to skate with a stick and hit pucks. That doesn't make it the hardest trophy to win. That makes it the hardest sport to play.
No, it's a grueling schedule. You grew up in the country. You have no idea about hockey.
I'm not taking anything away from the difficulties of playing hockey. What I'm saying is the format of its tournament is not even close to the most difficult one to win. They play series, which always give the best teams a chance to win. So it's not the hardest one to win. If you're the best team, it's not the hardest one to win. If you're the best team in college basketball, you get 1-game formats and you got to win 6 of them flying across the country. Like, that's insane. That's the one I would contend is the hardest to win off the top of my head. I'd really have to think about it. But, hockey gets a good number of teams representing its regular season into the postseason. Then you're playing long series every time. I don't think that makes it the hardest trophy to win. If you want to tell me hockey is the most difficult sport to play, I 100% will take that and say you're probably right. I'd have to go into some of the Olympic sports, but I wouldn't argue with that at all.
How about this, Jacob?
Question.
Which trophy would you want to, and let's just take difficulty out of it. Let's just take like the zeal.
Which trophy
of
would
it.
I want to drink beer out of?
Stanley Which one do you want to Yeah. The Stanley Cup's probably one of the coolest.
Yeah. Which
trophies in sports for sure.
Coolest Stanley Cup. I don't think that's close. Like, that's the trophy we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones, it's like we kind of know what they look like. The Lombardi would probably be the next closest, I guess.
Yeah, that's one you want to hoist for sure.
But it's still not like the Cup. Not like they make a point to take the Stanley Cup around the country and do crazy things with it.
It's called Sir Stanley.
Yeah.
It's been knighted.
Sir? He got knighted?
Sir Stanley.
In where? Canada?
I've heard Sir Stanley. I don't know. Max? Enlighten us?
Lord Stanley.
Not Sir Stanley. Lord Stanley. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think they knight people in Canada. Knowledge. I mean, maybe. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they don't. All right, let's go to Cypher. Says it's a site on X, I believe, does an updated record for Royals jerseys that they wear during the season. The only jersey in which they're over 500 is the City Connect.
Good stat.
That's good stuff right there. What if the Royals just started wearing that every day for the rest of the year?
We need Ursig to sleep in a Connect jersey.
Would we be okay with that? Would we be okay with that? I mean, I guess if it means they were winning games,
it means winning.
That's a very easy yes.
Throw them on.
Let's go.
Weird hats and all.
We went to the Royals game a few weeks ago. It was my son's kind of part of his like birthday. We were there right around his birthday. This was real recently, and I don't remember even how it came up. Oh, he made a poster. He made hey, it's my birthday poster. And so they caught him walking in and they were like, oh, where are you sitting? And they were very kind. Like, they brought him a bobblehead. They were very sweet. But I was like, he was in a Rangers hat. Now he's in a Bobby Witt Jr. jersey. I think everyone knows what I mean when I say jersey, right? T-shirt jersey.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. is his favorite player. But he had on his Rangers hat because the Rangers make a tear come to my eye. He's a Rangers fan, like his dad. And so I'm like, at that point, we didn't know what they were going to do when they asked where he was sitting. And I'm like, oh no, like he can't be wearing a Rangers hat. Like, if they come over with a camera or something, they'll never come. He's wearing a Rangers hat. So it's like, we got to get him a Royals hat real quick. So we go through and my wife is like, oh, what about those cute ones? She was talking about the City Connect hat. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, no, we're not buying him a fuchsia hat with like,
we're a proud household. No,
we're not doing that. We're absolutely at like a Hank Hill moment. So, whoa, God, no. No, Bobby, no.
Love some King of the Hill, by the way.
I
love it.
Yeah, but it's not because it's fuchsia. I wear pink shirts all the time. It's that the hat doesn't look good, and I'm like, that's going away. No, we got to get him like a regular. We went to the old City Connect, the Fountain KC, because that's the way his Bobby Witt Jr. shirt is.
I see.
So,
I see.
But that's good stuff, Cypher. That's good stuff. Something now.
Love
Cypher,
it.
do us a favor. Keep following that and report back in for us when they wear those.
Yeah, keep a running tally.
Yeah, let's keep track of the headlines I missed. I need jersey information, Cypher. Appreciate it. All right, we'll come right back. Let's talk about what the SEC and the Big Ten have to say about this new college bill next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
To get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
Hey, who wants to win some iced tea right now? Text the keyword T to the short code 20357 for your chance to win some HTO iced tea. You can do that on us, East Wichita, West Wichita, or Derby. More than 25 flavors. You can sample them all for free, and you can get a free one on us. Again, the short code is T. The short code is 20357. Message and data rates apply. You can enter once per day. Good luck out there, everybody. We come back into Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman, Max Power, in Max Kenny Powers, according to some listeners. I like that.
I just want to say that Bruce Hurdle's cousin, Thomas Hurdle, scored the game-winning goal, although he dropped the A because he didn't like the two dots over the A, but could be Bruce Hurdle's long-lost cousin.
That's fantastic. Is that last night?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going for Carolina there in that one. See if they can get it done. They started at home, right? They just lost home ice advantage until they can maybe get one in Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. The Stanley Cup is so fun. Hockey is so fun. It is. It's so much fun live. I say all the time, including the Wichita Thunder, which I've had a blast every time I've been to those games. So this news we're getting to now is not surprising. What are we calling this now? Protect College Sports Act that we got into.
Protect SEC and Big Ten TV deal act.
Correct. Yeah, we got into this last week. And right away, there's a lot of stuff in there that I think is good. I think will get us to the place we need to be. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth until we get there. It would codify some things with, 5 years of eligibility, with one free transfer, with trying to enforce NIL and salary caps and all of these things. And so, it doesn't take away workers' rights implicitly, which will appease, I think, some lawmakers in some parts of the country. And so, but you're going to have to, they kind of shoved it all in there because it's got to be negotiated through all the different, places it's got to go through to actually become law. But right away, there was a part of this, and we talked about it right away. There is a provision that conferences could pool media rights and split them, which is what you see like in Major League Baseball or whatever, right? Media rights sharing. And I was like, well, the SEC and the Big Ten are not going to vote for that. And unless that's taken out, they'll never support this because it would cost them so much money. And what you'll have is all the lawmakers and administrators from those states that have those universities will push back against this. So I think that, the senators that proposed this, and again, it was bipartisan, I think they have a pretty good understanding that that's the case. But sometimes it feels to me on these deals, Brady, like you got to put cannon fodder in there. Nobody in the world that I can think of that I've ever heard from, even the staunchest Big 12 fans, would come out and say, well, yeah, we should get the same amount of money SEC schools do in their media rights deal. Like, that's not how this works. It's never how it's worked. That is the separation. And if, maybe it was put in there to appease people who think there's too much of a have-nots in college. But the fact that there's have-nots in college, to me, is so far down the list of things that need to be solved, because college is just, it's always been that way. It just
that's what I was
means
gonna
more,
say. Yeah.
means more in certain places. And keep in mind, too, that the two senators that proposed this, Ted Cruz, a Republican out of Texas, has 2 SEC schools in his state, and Maria Cantwell, a Dem in Washington, has Washington in the Big Ten. So it's not like they don't understand. It's not like they're coming at you from, and I can't think, the state of Kansas. Like if Jerry Moran was on this, or Roger Marshall, and saying, "Oh, we think they should split the media," because Kansas doesn't have a school in those conferences, right? No, these two that wrote this legislation have schools that are in those 2 conferences that this would clearly financially benefit less. And so I think they understand. Now, the reason, though, Brady, they didn't really speak on, at least from the statement given, the Big Ten SEC. They didn't mention that, even though we know that's the reason. They said it's because it leaves critical issues unresolved, including not meaningfully preempting state laws with a federal law, which has been long considered a key element. But of course it does, or we're wasting our time. The only reason we're doing this is for that reason. Last week, the 2 senators who wrote it told the AP the bill is drafted to preempt state laws that conflict with the provisions in this bill. There are 2 key things that must happen with this, no matter what else is in it. It's got to solve the antitrust problem so they stop getting sued. And of course it has to preempt state law. Of course it does, or it's waste of time. That's one of the reasons they have to do a bill like this. So for the Big Ten and the SEC to say, like, "Oh, it's because it," like, no, come on. Like, no, that's not the case. We all know that's not the case. Did you see the story? There was somebody involved with LSU who I think accidentally signed off on this and quickly had to pivot. Did you see that story?
No, I didn't see that.
I think it was oh yeah, we support this. This solves a lot of the problems. Yay, go. And then probably his colleagues are like, "Yo, dude, did you read it?" Like, "No, we can't sign off on that." And then he's quickly like, "That was an accident. I didn't mean
on second thought. Yeah, after further analysis. Yeah,
the SEC and the Big Ten want theirs, Brady, and they should. I mean, let's be real. They should want theirs.
Well, if you're in their spot, you're not going to do anything different. And plus, the other thing about this Protect College Sports Act, as it was presented, also barring basically the SEC and Big Ten merging for a super league, or each of them having their own league. And I think that's a big deal too.
That's not coming out of there. That's not coming out of there. I think that'll stay.
Why you don't think that's a big part of contention, though?
Why are we wasting our time with this if that were going to be the end game?
Well, I think that's what the SEC and Big Ten want. I think that they're pretty.
I think they want the option
solid on that.
I think they want the option.
I mean, when you look at realignment, doesn't just seem like that's where everything's going anyway, and that's what they've been trying to kind of put together brick by brick, if you will.
I don't know. I don't think they're totally on board with the Super League, because I think they probably understand. I think they probably understand why that's a bit of a risk. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to break away, and this is one of the great dangers I've said forever, like you become a national, you're a national sport right now, but you don't have that if you break away. At least you don't have that guarantee.
But if the TV money's there for it still, do they care?
Well, but the TV money's maybe there once until they realize not as many people care about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the money's there. I think that's what.
But
it's
is
all
the money
about
going to
anyway.
stay there? So it's the LSU president, Wade Roos, by the way.
Okay.
I think I'm saying that right. His name was on there, and then he told Yahoo Sports he did not authorize his name to be included.
That's kind of one of those things where it's like, really, you didn't know? I
that
mean,
one is if it's not, I don't think it's the breakaway. I think if you get this where you want it, the Big Ten and the SEC are always going to have the ability to make more money. They already hold a lot of the cards in the CFP, and I don't think there's anything that I saw in the bill that takes that power away from them. And again, it shouldn't. They're the two best leagues. They earn the most money. If they want to be able to set their own salary caps, I think that's something that would be okay. And maybe that's an olive branch. Maybe their caps get to be higher. I don't think these are the challenges. Again, and I say this a lot, I know, but I don't think the financial disparity between LSU football and Kansas State football is the thing that's challenging college athletics right now, or Alabama football, because those discrepancies have always existed and will always exist.
Sure.
You can't like, even if you pooled media rights, those discrepancies are going to exist.
Sure.
And I think it's unreasonable to expect every school across the country to play under the same financial constraints, like a true salary cap. I don't think I think that's a hard thing to accomplish. And that's why you're getting the NIL thing out of control. Like, to say, Kansas State and Alabama have to have the same salary cap. That's a wonderful idea, right? Why on earth would Alabama ever sign on board with that? Kansas State, you could make it higher. Kansas State can't pay that much anyway, right? Like, you can set it so high, but if some schools are able to do this because their program generates the money to do it, okay. And they want to put some of these caps in, I think, to protect the other sports on campus and go back to sort of that model, right? Where football supports all the other, it raises, I should say, everything else up. And I hope that they can have that happen, but I don't think, like, legally speaking, it's the most important thing, right? Should a football program be beholden to support the golf program?
Well, and that's kind of where I wonder. And, we kind of talked about this, I guess a few weeks ago. But the more we kind of talk about this, the more we get in the weeds on all this, and just kind of the way the conversation's been the last few years, really ever since the end of the BCS era, I guess you can say, it just feels more and more, it's like, shouldn't just football and basketball just totally break off entirely at this point?
I mean,
and kind of save some of the other sports.
But
And going back to
hurt the other sports.
But going back to equity that you were talking about, and we talked about this before, this is also where everything gets really messy, because we're saying that, like, yeah, Alabama and some of these other bigger schools shouldn't have the same financial constraints as K-State or anybody else. But it also goes back to the fact that these are still public institutions. If these were all private institutions, and it's like, yeah, they can do whatever they want. Why have any government regulation really at all?
Well, no, they need regulation. I just mean, like, we're just talking like competitively now, not.
Sure, but you're talking about the money and the financial aspects, and it's
but
like,
but again, like, okay, they're public, but they're publicly supported by each individual state. First of all, so Kansas and Kansas State, maybe you could say, have to spend the same amount, but you couldn't. But maybe Kansas State generates more in one than the other, and like,
right,
it's complicated because of the NIL piece, right? That's where we're at now. Okay, well, here's the salary cap, but you can still have NIL, and then you just mask paying players with NIL deals, which, again, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, and I don't think that's the challenge we face right now. I know some administrators would disagree because they're at such a competitive disadvantage, and I get that. I think I'm talking strictly, like, from a fan's perspective here. From a fan's perspective, the thing that people don't like the most is the transfer portal. I would argue that. The thing that drives people the craziest is the transfer portal.
Well, the lack of rules
with roster every year.
Yeah.
I think financially you can solve some of that. You can, kind of go two birds with one stone. If you make it more difficult to transfer, it's naturally going to suppress the market a little bit because there's fewer players on the market. Now, it may make it far more lucrative for some players, and that's okay. That then becomes a part of a decision that a player must make. Maybe you don't make that first transfer, right away. Maybe you wait to make that first transfer until you can capitalize in the biggest way possible. And I think that all goes into it. Like, could you imagine, like, we know Arch Manning came in, made a boatload of money right away, heavily endorsed. Could you, let's just envision a scenario where he had an incredible season this year and then went and hit the open market. Now, he would command more than we've ever seen before. Guy like him, quarterback, basically any quarterback. You can insert name here, but he hasn't transferred yet, so he'd still have his one free one, right? That's where I think you might see guys stick it out a little bit longer at the schools they're at, which benefits the schools they're at. And then to the schools that are going to go get him, like Will Howard's a good example of that. He never transferred, and then he capitalized in that last year. Great. That's a great story, right? But it's not the same as, you know, how many times did Carson Beck transfer or Brendan Sorsby, where you're just bouncing around every year? Like, nope, that's the part that nobody likes. And the 5-year thing, I need to see the provisions. I can get on board with it. I think those are the things that will make it to the finish line on this. I think they'll get more NIL enforcement. I think they'll get the 5 years. I think they'll get the one free transfer. I think they'll get the antitrust. And I think that they'll get all of those things in there. I think the media pooling is a non-starter. I think there are some non-starter things, and then we're like, well, that's going to get taken out. I think the coaching thing, I don't know how they'll enforce that. Like, you can't do that. That's probably not going to make it to the finish line, even though we'd like it to. I don't think it will.
Well, who's enforcing anything right now? That doesn't feel
well,
like
that's
the
the other
NCAA
part of it that has to make it through is the NCAA has to get some teeth back.
Yeah.
And if they have federal law and not the threat of lawsuit all the time, they'll get their teeth back. They'll get their teeth back. Right now, they don't have any teeth because they just get sued all the time.
Right.
I mean, that's what's taken their ability. And it was imperfect for sure. But at least the threat of it was there. And the threat of it would solve some things, right? People would be less likely to cheat if the actual threat of getting caught was anything, which right now it's nothing. I mean, Brendan Sorsby's had to go, make 1,000 bets to be pulled. That's about the only time we've seen anything be able to be enforced on this deal. So no surprise there that you're seeing the Big Ten and the SEC push back on the initial drafting of this. I think it was designed to do that. I think it was designed to have things in there to be pulled out by some people to try to get compromise in other areas.
And
maybe the compromise with the Big Ten and the SEC is, okay, fine, no media rights pooling, but you can't break off and form a super league. And that's how you come to agreements. And maybe that's it. But I don't think anybody put that in there with the intention of that making it to the finish line. Those senators, it would hurt some of the schools in the states they represent to have that make it through. I think it was put in there designed to fail. And that's how politics works.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, actually. Whether you're talking this sports bill or anything else, that's how it always works. There's a lot of times legislation, you put stuff in legislation knowing it's not going to go through, but you hope it creates conversation to maybe off-spin a different bill.
Yeah,
and we'll be like, well, we'll just talk about
that
just
in
this.
there, but this is going to be there. Yeah, I think that's what that is. So that doesn't worry me too much to see them withholding their support for now. I think they'll get there. I think a lot of this stuff helps them. And I think it's a lot of things that they would prefer, honestly, to get some control over this a little bit. We'll find out. It's a good story. All right, we'll have Shreyas Laddha. We should have Shreyas Laddha in next to talk a little KU. Super Regionals are set. What do we think of their chances? That's next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily here, joined now by our KU Insider Shreyas Laddha on the show ahead of Super Regionals. Shreyas, now you're the beat reporter for KU football and KU basketball. but you're there. You're connected. Go back to February? Super regionals in Lawrence? That's wild. That is why, even for the biggest optimist, that's wild. This is cool.
It's awesome. And it's a testament to Dan Fitzgerald and the KU baseball program for getting to where they're at so quickly. First time ever Super Regionals. I think there's a lot of excitement and hype around of it. And we'll see what happens the next few days.
It's amazing the run that they've had. The excitement right now, we've seen it in the ballpark. Just that atmosphere. How's it going to be? Can you even predict what it's going to be like for a super regional? We saw it as like for a regional, and the history continues. I know they added a lot more seating for the regionals. Have they added any more? How are they preparing the ballpark for this one?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of hype and a lot of KU fans there. We saw and felt the atmosphere. If you were at those games, it was just second to none, I think, compared to what I expected. I know the ticket prices right now in the resale market are really high for potential regional things. So it'll be interesting to kind of see who shows up, who doesn't show up. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think KU fans will be out there in full throttle, making sure their presence is felt. It's something the KU baseball team I know really appreciates.
Let's talk a little hoops here, Shreyas, as we get ready. Saturday and Sunday, 5 o'clock for it. I wonder, we're starting to see, it feels like to me anyway, we're starting to see some buzz for Kansas. They're starting to make it into all these too early top 25. I think ESPN has them at 23 right now, about where the others have them. How do we set expectations in June for what's coming next year? We get the non-conference schedule yesterday. Like, we're starting to look at this. I don't think they're adding anything else to this roster. So, Blyden, Kenny, Stokes, Dawes, Reeves, Mbia's there. How do you even begin to try to set expectations for that?
Well, so much of it is dependent on how the freshmen play, right? Kenny and Stokes. But, right now, the way they look at this team, it looks like a top 15, top 20 team in the country. How they play, like, if they're good enough to reach the ceiling, what they could be, they're probably a top 7, top 10 team in the country. I think expectations are get out of the first weekend. That should be the expectation at this point, because they haven't got out of the first weekend in 4 years. I think this team can do it. But like you said, there's a lot of question marks. Is the big man rotation good enough? Is Lura Bryden going to be able to translate from the MAC and not really have a hitch of playing the Big 12? Is Taylor Kinney and Tyron Stokes can be able to provide enough scoring that they'll need, but also not have too much of a freshman wall during the season? So to me, this team has plenty of question marks, but the way it's built, I think I get it. And obviously, when Paul Mbia and Christian Reeves battle out, we'll have to see who wins the starting job. But I think it's a top 15, top 20 team in the country, with the possibility of becoming a lot better just based on how they play.
And right now, how's kind of the atmosphere when it comes to, I guess, the talk around Coach Self? Obviously, right after the end of the tournament, there was that question, and he even acknowledged that, I'm going to talk with family, kind of see how things go, and didn't really wait too long on making that announcement as far as coming back. But how much is that still maybe in the back of the mind as far as approaching this year, or is that just totally out of the mind now and just kind of back to business?
Well, I think it's kind of back to business, right? He's back for another year. Bill says he said a few different times that he feels really healthy. He did the tests. He didn't count out the fact that he could be, there past this coming year. I think truly it's going to be year to year in determining how he feels and how the medical tests go, et cetera. But I know KU fans are obviously happy to have him back, and they should be. I think they're not going to be I've mentioned this before here. I don't think there is going to be a coach who's going to be able to recruit as well as Bill Self has done, especially in the high school realm in the last few years.
I want to look at the rest of the league. Shreyas, have you started to evaluate the Big 12? We saw Milan Momcilovic go. He's not coming to Iowa State. We didn't think he would, but he's off to Kentucky. I don't think Christian Anderson came back, right? He stayed. So there will be some of the best players in the league out. I think the whole world probably has Arizona right now on top.
Yeah.
But, last year we went into this and you felt like, man, the Big 12 could be the best league in the country. I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to be there at least when the season starts this year with the Big 12.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of freshmen that are going to have to really step up that are coming in for the Big 12 for them to kind of be as good as they were last year. There's a lot of talent that's been lost in this league due to transfers or the NBA or whatever. I don't think it's be as much of a gauntlet as last year was for the Big 12 or any Big 12 team.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing going into the tournament last year. We're kind of thinking, which Big 12 team's going to win it? Could be an all Big 12 Final Four or Big 12 national championship game, and didn't turn out to be the case. Just talking about the league overall going into next year, is there any kind of early sleepers you're thinking about, or any dark horse teams that could maybe surprise some folks? Or is it too early to tell now because of the transfer portal? How do you predict it?
I think it's a little too early to tell. I mean, there's certain teams last year that I think could have been better than they were. Like Baylor, I don't think is going to be the worst team in the league quite yet. Yeah. I don't think K-State's going to be as bad as they were last year, for example, either. But I think the way things shake out, I think it is a little early to tell. But also, it's a typical top 4 or 5 teams that are going to be there. You're going to have Arizona, you're going to have Texas Tech, you're going to have Kansas in the mix there somewhere. Iowa State's going to be there because Iowa State's always there. And then throw in a 5th team wherever you want, in my opinion, at least.
Well, so and that's I guess why I even bring up the Big 12 right now is because it does feel pretty open and maybe a little weaker than it has. So for a team like Kansas, should fans be expecting Kansas and this specific Kansas team to go win a Big 12 championship this year? Is that unreasonable? Because there's two different things happening. It seems unreasonable when we look at the roster, I think. But then when you look at the Big 12, it's like, okay, maybe that is reasonable to expect him to be at the top.
I mean, they should always be in contention, right? Like that's the goal for any Kansas team. They should always be in contention for Big 12 title. But to me, to winning the Big 12 title, I need to see this team in action first. I mean,
but that's the case for every team in the league, though.
No, I don't disagree, but I don't think they're built to be. I mean, like I said, I think I have them top 15, not top 5. If I had them as a top 5 team right now, I'd be like, yeah, they should win the Big 12, or they should contend. They should be a real contender to win, or be in the top 3 or whatever. I think Kansas is in a good spot in a lot of ways, but I think so much of it is going to be relying on how the big man rotation looks. Do they get enough scoring from the youngsters and all that? I mean, like you said, I think the early favorite is going to be Arizona. It's hard to count out Arizona.
Yeah.
I think Kansas will probably be in the top 3 or 4 like they were last year. But candidly, they haven't won the Big 12 title in 4 years. So I can say I feel like they're ready. And at moments in season last year, they looked like they were going to contend for the Big 12 title. They won 8 straight, but then they kind of fell apart. So, I've seen this story so many different times where national media or local media even hypes up Kansas to win the Big 12 title. Well, I don't think I'm there. I don't think this iteration of team right now, at least what I see it, is going to win a Big 12 title. I think they'll be in the top 5, top 4. But so much of them winning a Big 12 title means they have to hit on a lot of things that I've mentioned earlier, we've talked about earlier. And I don't know. It's I can't predict the future. I have no idea if Tyron Stokes is going to translate as well as Darren Peterson did. I have no idea if Taylor Kinney is going to be a 12 and 6 or 7 guy versus a 8 and 4 or something, and his Leroy Bryant going to bring in the shooting like he had in the MAC, that. All those are all big question marks with this team.
Yeah, I kind of wonder with going back to the KU baseball program and the run they're having, I kind of wonder if Leopold and Selp are kind of thinking well, this is kind of nice. Everybody's still talking about them right now. Give us a little bit more of a break to prepare and get ready for the next season a little bit. Because normally this time, this is what we're talking about, right? We're going right into it, but a little bit more of a bumper this year.
100%. I'm sure it's nice, but I mean, also these coaches like to be center of attention. Who doesn't, right? They're coaches. Bill. I'm sure Bill likes people talking about Kansas and Lance. As long as I think Lance likes being the plucky underdog. But it's an important year for both programs. Kansas needs to get out of this. The first weekend for basketball. For football, they need to make a bowl game, which they haven't done the last 2 years after 2 straight disappointing 5-7 seasons. They've spent a ton of money on renovations, and now they got to deliver upon those things for a restless fan base, in my opinion. So KU baseball is certainly taking a little bit of the stress off of the coaches, but I think they still have their own internal stress, and they know what they have to do because it's an important year.
It's just a massive year for them. Football, real quick before we go, Shreyas, the spring is kind of behind us. We don't really know, right, what to expect out of football. Did they learn anything? Do we have some mind-changing thing that's happened in the spring to give us some? I mean, when I say I have no idea what to expect with football next year, I mean I have no idea what to expect with football next year.
I mean, as you should, because they have a new quarterback. We don't even know who the quarterback is yet at this point. From what I gather, Cole Ballard leads the competition a little bit over Isaiah Marshall, but neither of them really separate themselves. Cole's the better thrower. Isaiah has the better legs. Chase Jenkins played quite well to end the last few games where he got a lot more one reps, so maybe he'll be more of the competition after recovering from injury. I think they feel happy with a lot of the transfers they brought in. They look better than expected, but the quarterback position is such a question mark to me. It's like, what is the ceiling of this team? Is it even 6 or 7 wins? I have no idea because, from what I gather, I don't think any of the quarterbacks have looked particularly amazing. I think that'll be okay because Andy Kotelnicki has a way of making quarterbacks look better than they are. But it's hard for me to project the ceiling. I think the floor could be something as low as 4 wins, and the ceiling could be 7, 8 wins.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Well, Shreyas, anything special coming up for you at the Star with the Super Regional there in town?
I will not be there, but my partner Gary Bedore will be at those games. But yeah, I'll obviously have coverage from KU's Roundball Classic coming up tomorrow, and plenty of other things on the docket. You know how it is.
The Roundball Classic, of course, our partners here at 12 News are a partner with that. You can still get tickets. You can actually get those in Wichita and go up to the Roundball and then hang out in the area because you got baseball on Saturday and Sunday. Follow Shreyas, of course, at the KC Star. You can follow him at the Pay Heed KCSN podcast as well. Shreyas, enjoy it. Let's see if we can get him to Omaha. Why not? Why the hell not?
Absolutely.
Might as well. Thanks, Shreyas. There goes Shreyas Laddha. Why not, Brady?
Yeah.
Why not Omaha?
You're about there.
I was looking. The College World Series. Their odds to win the College World Series right now are 25-1. They are of the 16 teams remaining, 10th best odds of 16.
Okay.
They have better odds than Oregon, Oklahoma, which is good news, Troy, Cal Poly, Little Rock, and St. John's. So here's something to think about, though. We're just looking at this, from a Vegas perspective. They have better odds than the team they play in the Super Regionals in Oklahoma. If St. John's were to win, that's who they'd play in the first round of Omaha. They're the longest odds. So I'm just saying, there's a decent little path there for them maybe to make a little noise, get there, but you got to get through Oklahoma first.
Yep. They got the keys.
It's just so cool. So cool that they made it. You just go. I think everybody's rooting for the Jayhawks baseball team right now. Why not?
Why not? Represent the Big 12. Let's do it.
We'll be back. Don't go away. More Sports Daily.